For more on overseas markets now, we're joined by Ashraf Laidi. He's Chief Executive Officer of Intermarket Strategy, and he joins us from London. Ashraf, great to have you with us again, and it's a timely opportunity as well, because as we know, the Bank of England has just issued its latest policy announcement. I also misspoke myself before the break. I said that the bank was hinting that a rate cut in August was possible. Of course, we're beyond August. It's referring to the latter portion of this year. What are your thoughts on that, Ashraf, the possibility of a further rate cut this year by the Bank of England?
Hi, Paul. Yes, I think there is a small chance for a rate cut later this year. Obviously, there's been a lot of noise there, the accusation that the Bank of England exaggerated the fears and, and now everything is fine. And basically, the PMI indices, the survey-based numbers took a sharp dive. And then had a reactionary rebound. It's like when you take a ball and you throw it from a building and you let it go 5-6 stories high, and then it falls due to Brexit fears, and then it bounces back, but then it's going to drop back. Why? Anybody that uses the sentence "despite Brexit" should be reminded that Brexit has not yet taken effect. It's like when you convict someone, I don't want to cause drama. You convict someone, you give him the sentence. They feel very bad. They feel disappointed. Big sentence, but they still have to serve the sentence. And they still have to do the time. And sorry to use such drama here, but the UK has still not yet served the sentence or executed this time, because the negotiation period is still taking part. So I think that once that will be done, once that will take effect, and once most likely the British banks will use the passporting abilities to passporting rights with Europe, I think we will see some declines and a slowdown, and there will be a need to probably cut rates or to increase a QE.
Hi, Ashraf, Ryan here. Now, Brexit, my understanding that this is going to take years for this to work out, for them to essentially leave. From the tone, from your tone, I'm hearing that you expect economic activity to weaken as a result. So I'm just trying to understand the timeline. When is your expectation for, I guess, Brexit to really start unfolding, and when do you expect this kind of weakness in the UK economy to start occurring?
I don't expect Brexit to take effect before 1 year or, before 6 to 9 to 12 months. I don't expect that. But as we enter in that period and the negotiations start and reality start to set gradually in, then we're going to see the lack of confidence that hit us so hard in the last, in June and July, and that lack of confidence is going to start to return back. People talk about, retail sales. The Bank of England today said consumer spending are falling slower than business spending. Businesses are retrenching. Retail sales, the consumer spending, London is known as full of tourists, wealthy people coming from all over the world. The people from the Middle East who used to get 6-month, 12-month visas, now they get 5-year visas. Some countries from the Gulf, they don't need a visa. They're staying here 2, 3, 4 years, and they spend. But you know what? These very people that you see buying shops and buying wealthy, very expensive stuff, they're actually not taking house loans. They're not taking out the mortgages. They're not buying autos and so on and so forth. So the dichotomy there is going to be interesting to see over the next few months.
You said recently, I believe you tweeted it out, that the volatility we've been seeing since Friday and today is just a warm-up to the wild ride we'll see before too long. Tell us more about the volatility that you see coming into markets.
Oh, yes, Paul, the 48-hour period between Tuesday and Thursday. They got the Bank of Japan. The Bank of Japan, now they realize that there are not enough bonds out there, so they cannot buy bonds. So they're going to have a deal with the BlackRock to buy their equities ETFs. And they realize that when they buy, when they do not buy, when they buy fewer bonds on the long end, yields will yields will come down, yields will come up, and that will increase the profitability of the banks. But markets want the Bank of Japan to do more QE. Because they're not going to be able to do more QE in JGBs, we're going to see more of the turbulence that we saw in the bond market, and which will weigh on the stock market. Maybe the Federal Reserve decision of not raising rates maybe will help markets a little bit. Then Yellen is going to come in and say, well, there are some good things in the job market, but inflation is not high enough. But I think the volatility is going to be mainly from the Bank of Japan. And I think that the yen, which we saw some weakness in the yen as a result of the backup in bond yields, I think the story is going to erode a little bit. I just want to say something which is very important, Paul. The combination of rising bond yields and falling oil prices is not good. It's especially not good for who? The emerging markets. And when emerging markets start to buckle, we will see some nice rise in the US dollar, especially versus the British pound and versus the loonie.
Always great to talk to you. We are out of time, but would love to have you back, and we'll try to get you back again soon. Ashraf Laidi, Chief Executive Officer of Intermarket Strategy. He joined us from